roboethics, an applied ethics whose objective is to develop scientific, cultural, technical tools that can be shared by different social groups and beliefs. These tools aim to promote and encourage the development of robotics for the advancement of human society and individuals, and to help preventing its misuse against humankind. We've asked 3 experts about a variety of roboethics issues. What do you think is the biggest issue in roboethics today?
What happens when your dog bites someone or hurts someone? Are you responsible? Is the dog responsible? Well, as you know, it's a shared responsibility usually. It can even be shared by the person who got bitten in the first place. So, it really depends from case to another. That said, I really strongly want this responsibility to be shared and not to be solely on the user end. So typically, I purchase a robot. In the near future, I may purchase a robot that is fully autonomous, relatively powerful, could hurt someone, so it's more like the vacuum cleaner, but maybe a meter tall, so if it falls onto my kid, it may hurt the kid. I'm responsible for that, but I think the person who designed a robot is also partly responsible. Again, it's very difficult, especially when you seek to have a robot that can learn, that can be autonomous, that can do things that you cannot foresee. How can you then be accountable for everything that it will be doing?
The most urgent question is military robotics and the way in which military robotics should evolve in the next few years. I think that this is probably the first field that will pose critical issues to the humankind. Okay, I'm not so naive to hope that robots will not be used in war, but I hope that robots will not evolve in a new kind of weapon of mass destruction.
The most important and general issue of roboethics is to understand the difference between intelligent machine and human being. This confusion, this epistemic confusion, in my view, is giving rise to all the other confusions. Take the word intelligence. We use intelligence for human intelligence, animal intelligence, or artificial intelligence, and there are distinct domains. I saw in many papers, in many discussions, the use of this word simply shifted from one domain to the other, illogically and not respecting the domain laws of every field.
Does roboethics hinder or advance technological progress?
No, actually my idea was that people will discuss that and will try to convince each other. And once you're convinced, then yes, this may hinder some of the research direction that you could have taken, but I wouldn't see that as a hindering. I would see that as progress, because you will have learned something from this discussion and you will redirect your research to avoid consequences. So this to me is part of the scientific process. On the contrary, it's just acquiring more knowledge to guide you in the design of your robot. So I'm not saying that as a way of closing doors. It's on the contrary, it's a way of deciding that these are avenues that have poor consequences. So there is no reason to take that. So no, I see it more as a progress in science by bringing an interdisciplinary view on the issue. Robot interaction is about interacting with humans. So obviously, we need to talk with humans.
Roboethics is for robotics and not against robotics. I think that if we are smart enough, we can make robotics very popular. And this will be good for industries also. If we are not smart, it could happen like in other fields that the public opinion will refuse robotics or will identify robotics with something odd, with something alien. I think that roboethics be, as I told before, the flag of a movement, of an initiative, to raise the awareness of roboticists in the first phase, and of the general public in the second phase, about the importance of robotics in the society and the need to steer the development of robotics in a direction that will be shared by the general population.
What kind of human-robot future do you dream of?
I dream of a world with a lot of robots doing jobs that are not for humans, doing dangerous jobs, tiring jobs, dirty jobs, and leaving humans more time to enjoy nature, to enjoy social life, to enjoy culture and art. And I hope that robotics could help improving the life of populations instead of creating another threat to people. And that's why I don't think that military robotics is the right direction. I think that social robotics, medical robotics are the right direction. And low-cost robotics is the right direction.
I hope that standard committees will intervene soon and with reason, to give standards very clear, especially concerning safety of the robots. There should be a world in which all the components of society simply get together with their different calls and needs and laws of behavior, but simply saying what could be done for the benefit of each one, of everyone, but in a rational way.
Where should we go from here?
We should try to have more and more discussion involving more politicians, more lawyers or people who are have a legal training to help us talk about these issues and think about this. And we will not have the answer now, and it's going to be a very long debate. We should just make room for that in our conferences to have more of these meetings.
Because in this century, really, the only way to get to a rational and universal solution is from the bottom. Bottom means that every stakeholder, every component of society, as peer groups, they cooperate in trying to find a solution which is applied, then feedbacked, and then we have rediscussed and reapplied.
And I think it's my duty to do something for the society, more than just developing robots, but also trying to push robotics in a direction positive for society. So I think it's just part of my job. It's not strange things. I think that doing research implies a responsibility to increase the knowledge about robotics, to increase the awareness of roboethics, with the final goal to have a large number of young people debating these topics. I don't have the truth. I am not the guy that will solve the problem of roboethics. I am much more able to analyze the problems than to give solutions to the problems, because solution should, in my opinion, should come from a bottom-up approach, should come from the society at large.